The lighthouse had been dark for 30 years when Mara inherited it. Her great-aunt had left it to her in a letter she wrote the night before she died, alone in a nursing home in Inverness. The letter was 3 pages long. The first 2 pages were instructions about the lighthouse, the mechanism, the oil, the logbook kept in the brass chest beside the lamp. The 3rd page was a warning. Mara read it twice, folded it carefully, and drove north anyway. The lighthouse stood at the edge of a headland where the Atlantic broke itself against black rock. It had no name on any map she had found. The locals and the nearest village called it the Kept Light and did not elaborate. The woman who ran the post office looked at Mara for a long moment when she mentioned where she was going, then sold her twice as many candles as she had asked for. The mechanism still worked. That was the first surprise. 30 years untouched, and when Mara wound the clockwork and lit the lamp, it turned, slow and even, sweeping the dark water below. The second surprise came at midnight. A boat appeared. It had no lights of its own. It moved against the current and against the wind, silent and deliberate, heading straight for the rocks. Mara opened the lantern room window and called out. The boat did not change course. She grabbed the old foghorn mounted on the wall and blew it 3 times. The boat stopped. A figure stood at the bow, too still to be managing sails, too upright for the swell. It raised one hand toward the light. Mara looked down at the logbook she had found in the brass chest. Her great-aunt had kept it for decades. Entry after entry in the same careful handwriting, dates, weather, wind direction, and then, beside certain dates, a single word: passenger. She turned back to the entries from 30 years ago, the final entry, the night the light went dark. It read, "She came aboard. I could not refuse her. I have left the mechanism wound and the oil full. Whoever lights it next must understand. The light does not guide ships. It never did. It guides the ones who are almost through. You will know them by how they move. You will know them by the hand they raise. Do not turn the light off. Under any circumstances, do not turn the light off." Mara set the logbook down. The boat was still there. The figure had not moved. She thought about her great-aunt, about 30 years of keeping this lighthouse dark after whatever happened on that final night, about the woman at the post office who had looked at her with something that was not quite pity and not quite fear. She thought about the word passenger. She looked at the mechanism still turning. She looked at the boat below. Then she picked up the logbook, found a blank page, and wrote today's date at the top. She did not turn the light off.